Hi there, my name is Cheesy, and today I want to have a look at some of the new features that were added in Cities Skylines 2. Mainly, I want to take a look at the communications tab. So here we find the post offices. These were already added in Cities Skylines 1, but we also have them in this game. And what's totally new is this tab, it's the telecom tab. And here we find everything that has to do with internet, telephony, stuff like that. So before we start unlocking and placing these buildings, let's first have a look at some statistics. So here we have the happiness menu. And we can see overall our people are quite happy. They are 4 out of 5. But it can still be better. If we have a look at this tab, we can see that apparently there's high crime, but that's for another day. But we have unreliable mail and unreliable internet, and this makes it so that our people are less happy than they could be. And also we can have a look at some of our finances. Currently we are making about 240,000 per month. So we will spend some more money for these services, but in return we should expect to see taxes come up because people are more happy to live here and pay their taxes. So let's then unlock these services and see if we can improve our happiness and our budget by adding these services. So we will go into the development tree, the communications tab, and we will unlock first of all the post sorting facility and the telecom tower, I think. No, let's first see how far we can get with these radio masts, and maybe then later on we will add some extra service or telecom towers, but for now I think this will be okay. Let's start with post. So we have a few different items over here. We have the normal mailbox. This can be used by citizens to send out their mail, and the post office vehicles pick up the mail from these post boxes. Then we also have a post office. And these handles local incoming and outgoing mail. They send vans to the mailboxes that we just saw, and then citizens can also drop off their post office directly, their post directly at the post office. So we only need a few of these, but we need quite a lot of mailboxes. Finally, we will also have the post sorting facility. And I think we will only need one of these to start with. Because what this does, it's picking up the post from the post offices and then ships it outside the city. So let's, while the snow is falling and turning Parmesiano into a white wonderland, start with the cheapest of our services. This will be the telecom service. So we can place these radio masts. They cost 13,500 to place. And they transmit mobile data, radio traffic and TV. And also in case of emergencies, which we luckily haven't seen any of them yet. They are also used to broadcast an alarm. Later we can upgrade these, and they have a range of about 1 kilometer. Maybe we can also see their range if we put on the info views. So that's quite a big circle. So let's try and place a few of them. And we can see over here that when we place them higher on the hill, they get some more range. So let's try and find a few spots to place this where it has quite some access. I think up here on the hill near our industry area is quite a good place. So let's place one there. And let's connect it via the road as well. And then upgrade this little piece so that it's even. Okay, that's nice. Let's continue to find some spots for our radio masts. We can place one over here near the offices on the big island. And you can see as soon as I placed it, it gets everything of this in range. Let's place a few more on the big island, and let's see if we can also finish up downtown. Maybe by placing one still near here, near the industry. And then the last one on this side of the highway that we just opened up in our previous episode. Let's give all of them some proper connections. And now that all of our radio masts are connected, you can see that almost all of our city is covered in a radio signal. So let us run the clock and see how this infects our happiness in a bit. Before we continue, I did notice that we are lacking some capacity, mainly here near the elementary school. This is completely full, so let's add an extension wing to make some more place for people to study here. And you can see everybody loves it. Okay, and what I also noticed is that our landfill is way over capacity. So we are not processing near enough. So let's also extend this one. We do have enough vehicles, we're only using 4 out of 20. But we could use some extra waste processing. So this collection point collects hazardous waste, allowing garbage to be processed at a higher speed. That's something that we do need. And we need to place this adjacent to the main building. So let's place it over here. And then we also have a waste recycling unit. This processes the incoming waste, and recycling what's possible lowers the ground pollution produced by the landfill site. So let's also place this. Fewer pollution is always a good idea. But we still don't have enough processing capacity. You can see here we are making 340 garbage per month. And we are only processing half of it. So we would need some extra services for that. Let's have a quick look at that. Oh, and the snow is already leaving. That was very short. We could buy an incineration plant. We would need some more money for this, but it processes 3,000 tons of garbage, so this would solve our problem immediately. Or we could go for the recycling center. It's also quite expensive, and it only processes half of the garbage. So this would only be just enough, but we do first need some more money. So I think for that I'm going to quickly take out a loan. In fact, I'm not going to do that. We are already pumping up a lot on this balance. And maybe this is the effect of the radio towers already. Who knows? Maybe it's because winter is leaving and we using less electricity for heating. I'm not quite sure what changed here, but we are making buckloads of money. So let me just run the game for a bit and I will be back with you in just a second. Now that we finally have some money, we can unlock and place our incineration plant. It will cost us 2 more development points. But now we can process 3,000 tons of garbage per month, and that will be more than enough to satisfy our city. This is quite a big building. So what I think is over here near our power plant is maybe the most logical place for it. And with that we actually hit our Great Town milestone. We get some more money, which is quite useful because we are going to spend it right away. Because for the next part we are going to place our post offices and our other post buildings. So let's look for a few places in the town where we can place these buildings. So this spot we were reserving for the cemetery, but maybe over here we can get away with placing one of these post buildings. Yes, we can. I do think we need a second post office somewhere over here. Maybe behind the school would be a good spot. The whole island loves it, so we will have one in Parmesiano, one on the island. For here it is okay, I think. Let's place some more mailboxes in the neighborhoods. What I'm trying to do is place these evenly across the city. And make sure that every small neighborhood has at least one post office. Mailbox, I mean. So that maybe like the elderly people of the town don't have to walk for miles in order to post a letter. It's just easy for them. And finally, we also need to place the post-sorting facility. This is quite a big building, so let's put on our contour lines and look for a sensible spot. So over here I want to reserve for more residential and city type uses. I think over here would be too far away from our city. This side of the river near the train depot could be a possible spot. But I also think that this place over here is not that desirable for residential or any other uses. It does have great access to the highway, but I don't think a lot of residents would drive over this road. So also not a lot of shops would set up on this road. But because it has access to the highway, so it can reach all of this side of the town, it has access quite easily to the bridge over the river, so it could also reach any future expansions that we have over here. So I think this plot over here would be a great space for the post-sorting facility. So let's make it flat. With the level terrain tool, we pick a height somewhere up here and we make a plateau for it. Just the rough edges for now. This is quite a big building, so I think it's realistic enough to flatten the earth for it. Then we can place it somewhere over here with the entrance to the side. And then connect it up via the road. Can just go straight into the collector over here. This piece I do want to have as a normal road, so let's flatten the earth first with our soften terrain tool. And now we can make the road hit up quite nicely. I said we can make it hit up quite nicely. Just like that. This looks nice and even, and the post vents can reach this from all sides of the city. Let's hide this a little bit from the highway with some trees. And once the trees fill in, this won't be as visible as it is now. For now this road isn't too busy, so I think I will leave the intersection like this, but maybe in the future we need to add some traffic lights or stuff like that. But for now I think it is perfect. Now that everything has settled in, let's take up the score. So we start with happiness. First we had 4 out of 5, now we are 5 out of 5 happy. And we can see we still have a high crime rate, so that would maybe be something to look for in the future. But everything we had here regarding post and internet is gone. We actually have a positive happiness for internet service now. So this makes it, we are now 5-star happy town. Let's also look at our money. We can see we are right now making 460,000. So our extra happy Sims seem to be paying more in revenue. We can actually see that before we had 200,000 service tax, so about a 50% increase. We have a little more service trade, it didn't change a lot, but all of a sudden we make about 500,000 more in taxes. And this is just happy people being happy to live in this town and also being happy to pay our taxes. We can also see in our expenses they have gone up, but not as much as our revenues have gone up. And this is still mostly due to our garbage management. You can see first we were paying about 20k and now we are paying 270k for this. But we do have a bunch of excess capacity right now. So when we grow into this garbage processing capacity, we will be having a lot more balanced budget, because now we are overpaying. But yeah, this is all to prepare ourselves for the future. So no big deal. With that, I want to thank you for watching today's episode. If you liked it, please press the like button down below. Also, let me know what you want to see in the future, or anything else you want to tell me. You can leave it down in the comments. While you're down there, also subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, My name is Cheesy. Bye bye.